Hi guys, my name is Grania and this is my channel, Jungle Flowers Canada. Thank you so much for joining me. So this video was inspired by one of my subscribers, Quirky Lemon. Her name is Tony, and she asked if I could do an update on my Hoyas. So I thought that's a great idea for some upcoming videos. So I decided I'd do a little mini series brought to you by Grania Flicks. And I started off the little mini series with my two Fabrikor greenhouses, Ikea greenhouses, which I have in my den. I didn't remove the plants from the greenhouse because some of them I have sort of trellised on the back, and also quite a few of them have new leaves, so I don't really want to disturb them because I find once you start messing with them and taking them in and out of the cabinets, there is a tendency to lose the leaves. So I hope that it is enjoyable. I did voice over because I was trying to concentrate on keeping the camera steady because I have very unsteady hands and it isn't perfect, but I'm hoping it's a little bit better than it has been in the past. So if you think this is something you'll enjoy, please watch this video and stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. Come and join me. So in the first cabinet we have, this is one of my newest Hoyas. It is the AH0734. And I love like the red speckling on these leaves, and I'm not sure, but I don't know if that is due to sun stressing or whether that is a characteristic of the plant, but I just thought it was so beautiful and I'm very happy to have it. So the Hoya AH0734. Next up we have the Hoya patella. I love this plant. The leaves are actually fuzzy, and I don't know if you can see it there from the video, but they are just adorable. So this has thrown out a long tendril, and if you see, I have it running along the back of the cabinet, and they are the new leaves. Look at how red the new leaves are on this plant. I just think it is so incredibly cute. So the Hoya patella. So this plant here is the Hoya cinnamonifolia, and I've had this for well over a year. It was actually a trade I got from Lucia from Lulu's Leaves, and it did nothing for the longest time. In fact, I think it was actually planted upside down, so I replanted it. So you can see this is also running along the back of the cabinet. I have it on a hook there, and it has actually thrown out two new leaves for me. So this is the Hoya cinnamonifolia. So next up is the Hoya Fusco marginata. So if you watched my video where I trellised this, I think I'm trying to show you there is a new leaf coming out up there. I know it's probably hard to see. I did actually lose another leaf because I knocked it off when I was trellising it. But anyway, you can see the tendril has taken off again, so I'm going to need to look at that again. And something I've noticed is that my leaves are no longer as sun stressed as they used to be. I'm not sure what's happening there, but here we have the Hoya Fusco marginata. Next up is one of my very favourite plants, and it is the Gunningadding. This plant has just taken off for me. Can you see the two new leaves coming up? And another grow point actually. And again, it's losing some of its sun stressing, so I'm not sure what's happening. But this is the Hoya Gunningadding. Next up is the beautiful Rangsan. Isn't this plant gorgeous? So you can see there's a tendril there, and that peduncle does actually flower. Jennifer, the girl I bought it from, told me that it flowers quite regularly. So I love the leaves on this. They're so thick and beautiful, and the markings on it are incredible. I was really excited to get this. So here we have the gorgeous Hoya Rangsan. This is the Hoya Helwegiana. So I got this as a 2-leaf import from Thailand, and you can see it's in soil, which a lot of my Hoyas are actually in pon. And I decided to move it to this cabinet because it does sun stress beautifully. This here is all new growth, this whole piece here, and you can see there's a further growth point coming there. I think this plant is truly beautiful, the Hoya Helwegiana. And here we have my cutie patootie. I love this. This is the Hoya linearis that I actually got from one of you subscribers. We did a plant trade and I'm so excited. So it did have a little bit of a struggle, but it seems to be doing so much better now, and I cannot wait to take cuttings and make this a huge plant. The Hoya linearis. This is my poor struggling Hoya compacta variegata. I've had this plant since 2018. It was a lovely full plant and it got mealybugs, so I'm nursing it back to health. My Hoya compacta variegata. And this is my Hoya Matilde. Now she is also struggling, so I took some cuttings from her and I put them back into the pon and hopefully she will reroot. So my Hoya Matilde. This plant is so gorgeous. This is the Hoya erythrina, yes. And there's actually two cuttings in here. One is doing better than the other. This is the one that's still struggling a bit, but it's definitely not dead, so it just needs time just to recoup from being transplanted. So I imported this from Thailand also, and you can see it's put out a long runner and it has just produced these two new leaves. Aren't they so incredibly cute? So I also have these attached to the back of the cabinet, the Hoya erythrina. This is my Hoya finlaysonii. So like I mentioned earlier, the sun stressing just seems to have disappeared. I have no idea what's happening with this. But anyway, it's put out a long runner and you may have noticed just earlier there was a new leaf on it. So the Hoya finlaysonii. This is another Fusco marginata, and this used to be really red. So the same thing again. I just wish I knew. Could somebody tell me? Has it something to do with the time of year? But anyway, here is the Hoya Fusco marginata. And this here is my Hoya Bertonier. Again, used to be so red, deep burgundy red, and you can see it's losing its sun stressing. So fuzzy but beautiful, the Hoya Bertonier. Next up we have the Hoya verticulata. This has done nothing. I've had it almost a year and it really has done nothing since I got it, so I'm hoping to see some new growth this year. So the Hoya verticulata. This here is the Hoya CV Viola, and the top two leaves are actually new. I have this the same time, and again it's over a year, so they've been very, very slow to take off, but I'm hoping I will get some growth, as I say, this year. So the Hoya CV Viola. And this here is a Hoya Sunrise. So there's a little bit of sun stressing on it, but again, not as much as I would have liked. I'm wondering, do these lights lose their lumens or whatever it is that makes our plants go red? I really am not sure what. But anyway, it is doing very nicely, the Hoya Sunrise. This here is another relatively new plant. It is the Hoya, it's the ACEH. I never know how to pronounce it. So this has two cuttings in it. You can see there's another new leaf coming there. I do have some more ordered from Indonesia, so I'm excited. I ordered the ACEH Splash. I'm not sure if this is the Splash, but I'm excited to get it. So hopefully this will put out some more growth soon. I think it's really gorgeous. So the Hoya ACEH. This is the Hoya Vitellinoides. So this came with the Viola and the Verticulata. So it put out one new leaf. You can see the lovely dark green leaf, but again, it has been quite slow. So fingers crossed for this year. The Hoya Vitellinoides. And last but not least is the Hoya Memoria. So this came with the others that I just spoke about in this cabinet, and it's just started to take off. It just put out these new leaves very recently. So I'll be keeping an eye on this and hopefully we'll get some more growth. The Hoya Memoria. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you liked the style of the video, if you didn't like the style of the video, please give me your comments and your feedback, because it helps me when I'm doing my future videos. If you watched till the end, don't forget to put the green heart emoji in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you all again soon. You take care and have a wonderful day.